Hey friends, today I want to talk about the Fringer EF-FX PRO, a lens adapter that allows you to put your Canon glass on Fuji cameras. Now, a little bit of history about me. Most of the gear that I have used for the past 6 to 7 years in my company has been Canon. So I've had the Canon 60D is how I started, then I had the 5D Mark III, and now I have the C200, which is what I'm filming this on. And when you get Canon gear, you usually also get Canon glass. So I've had Tamron, I've had Canon glass, and about 2 years ago, my wife and I went on a road trip where I rented the Fuji X-T2 with its kit lens to test it out, and I fell in love with Fuji. And soon after that, I bought the Fuji X-T20 for my personal use, and that's been my go-to camera for fun, for family, for my personal shooting. It's a more portable camera, and I love the manual controls that Fuji gives you. And recently, Fuji has been upping their game in the more professional lines. The Fuji X-T3, the X-H1, they've really been pushing the camera market, specifically on the technical specs like 4K 60, 10-bit, color, etc., etc. And recently, there's been a number of adapters that have come out to adapt Canon glass onto Fuji cameras, so I figured it was the right time to get the Fuji X-T3 and test it out. I bought this camera a few weeks ago, and I've been really enjoying it. On my few shoots using the Fringer, and that's what we call it, the Fringer, not the Fringer, I really don't know, I've had relative success with its use. The reason I got the Pro version was specifically because I wanted to be able to autofocus with the camera and to use the amazing face detection on the Fuji X-T3. But there's one major flaw to the Fringer EF-FX PRO that I think for professional users is going to cause a problem. Now, I do want to be clear, this is not a review, I repeat, not a review of the Fringer adapter. This is just a particular comment on a particular element of this adapter. A further review will probably come at a later time. When using the Fringer EF-FX PRO with the Fuji X-T3, I have found that there is an unnatural lens flare that occurs. So I'm going to put the adapter onto the X-T3 right now, and I'll shoot a few test shots so you can sort of get a sense of what it's doing. Now I have the adapter on the camera itself. Camera's still off. Feels pretty solid on the actual X-T3. Feels very nice. Doesn't jiggle around at all. And I'll begin with the classic nifty 50. What I'll show you now is how this particular lens flares with it. To give you a little bit of context, just in front of me is a standard standing light bulb, kind you got when you were in your dorm room, with the 5 little frings on top of it. Ignore what's actually in the background, but the point is that in the series of images, you will see the flare come in from the top, and you'll see how it creates a hard line. And as you can see, there's a very strange line that forms at the top there. You don't see it in video, which seems to tell me that the creator of the Fringer EF-FX PRO was primarily testing this for video and not for photo, and they did not test it for this particular effect. Now I'll swap out the 50 and I'll put on the 16-35. Kind of weird, isn't it? And once again, I'll take a series of shots and you'll see that effect happen right at the top. Now I've swapped onto my Tamron 24-70. This is the G2, the second version. I have the version 1, but it's currently on the C200. Once again, you'll see the effect happen towards the top. The reason I think this happens is because there is a bit of felt right here in the middle. If I'll take it off, you can actually see it on the inside right there. Here it is again, where you can actually see that bit of felt right in the middle there. And you can see that it does not go all the way, particularly right along the front edge, which is where you actually, oh, there you can actually see it reflecting. And I think that that is what is causing it. A simple way for the manufacturer to fix this would be to make that piece of felt go all the way. I'm going to see if I can fix it by buying a thin piece of velvet and applying it all the way to in the middle of the ring and seeing if that hopefully solves the problem. I'll try to keep you updated about whether that solution actually solves the problem, and I'll see you next time.